Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. The summer of pain continues, but this week it's more like the summer of mildly inconvenient. So this week's boss is a supercharged version of the infamous Act 4 Venom boss. Now there are a couple of Venom specific nodes on him that you've seen before, along with the adaptive node, which means he's going to get tougher to beat the longer the fight goes on. He also has Mystic Ward, so no nullifying, and he's immune to all forms of power control. Now he also has a node that we first saw on the Void boss in Act 7 called Setup and Spike. Basically you can't ever knock him down unless you have more than 6 debuffs on him, or you're going to take a bunch of damage back. So one of the side objectives this week is to defeat him with a Symbiote character, and I think Sym Supreme is probably the best option for this objective. Now my strategy in this fight is to essentially play it normally and then hold my special 3. When I get to the phase where Sym starts placing bleeds on every hit, I build up at least 7 and then launch the special 3. This activates all of his modes again, so you can build up more bleeds and then launch a big special 2 if you're lucky. Now the Setup and Spike does a decent amount of damage, as you'll see, but I'm not quite convinced that sacrificing all of the bleeds to do that is kind of worth it. I think the fight could probably be done faster if you just never use a special at all and rely on the bleed damage. Now if that's the route you went, please let me know in the comments below how many hits it took you. I'm curious if it was more or fewer than it took me. Now there's not really much more to this fight. Venom's AI is almost always hyper aggressive, and it feels like the majority of the fight you're going to be spending trying to get him to throw his special 1. If you're good at dodging his special 2, that's awesome, but I am not. So the only times I tried to push him to it in this fight is when I have the armor phase up with that protection buff so that I can minimize the block damage. The final thing I want to mention is spacing and power management. So since Venom is very aggressive, it's easy to get backed up into your own corner, and that's pretty much death. For that reason, try not to push him too far above 1 bar of power, and that way you can hit into his block 3 or 4 times to give yourself some extra space, push him back towards his corner. If you get backed into the corner again, you're probably going to have a bad time. That's about it. I'll let the rest of the fight play out. Let me know in the comments below who you were able to beat this fight with. If this video helped you, please make like Venom and OM NOM that like button. And if you aren't subscribed, I would appreciate if you took a moment to do so. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.